kiss me now, I insist. Make me yours, just take me now, I'm helpless to resist. Got me so invested in this thing, it's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. I can't help that it is more than just a fling. Now I know that it's the real thing, the real thing. Take your time, I'm on a high. My body yearns for you to taste me. No, there's magic in your fingertips, it's magic when we kiss. I can be myself with you, kiss me now, I insist. Make me yours, just take me now, I'm helpless to resist. Got me so invested in this thing, it's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. It's more than just a fling. I can't help that it is more than just a fling. Now I know that it's the real thing, the real thing.
Hi, everybody. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Am I coming in loud and clear? Happy Saturday and good morning. Good day. Grand Rising. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, I see the ones. Hi. Hey, Dre. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, Dre, from Harrison Family Values, for being here. And thank you for being a channel member. Shout out to you. Go ahead and put yourself on wife support, everyone, and join my channel membership. I've got one option over there for you, but I think I've got some valuable content. I know it ruffles some feathers, but I do think my content is valuable. But hello, good morning. Welcome to Bella's Corner, where the truth is delivered with love. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. If you're new, welcome. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads or when I go live. And I wanted to touch on real quick, because I know my last video ruffled some feathers. I know it did. I know my title had a shock value. I know it did. Quiet storm. I'm happy you go ahead and grab it. Grab your bulletproof vest. Yeah, I know my last video ruffled some feathers, but understand, specifically to the ladies, to my sisters, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If I in specific videos, I talk about a targeted group of individuals, okay? And I try to make that clear in my commentary, but I understand that gets missed sometimes, okay? But again, if it's not about you, if you don't have this mentality that I'm speaking of, if you don't, if you aren't as entitled as the individual who I may be speaking of, or the specific subset, or subgroup of people, it's not about you, honey. All right. So I just want to make that clear, because again, my last video ruffled some feathers. Okay. But we've got a good one today, and I'm going to let you guys call in. I'm thinking about having a panel. I'm not going to be able to stay long, so I'm going to get to the topic. The topic alone needs public broadcast due to people often saying what they deserve without checking themselves. Fair. If people can't comprehend that it doesn't apply to them, there may be some guilt there. Exactly. Hit dogs holla. Because I know, for example, when I listen to Crimson Cure, she keeps it direct and clear to, when it comes to specific group of people who she speak of, aka the hyenas. And I know she's not talking about me, although she says women. You women, Black women, I know I am not characterized as the individuals whom she's speaking of. Therefore, I don't get offended. But I just wanted to say that out of my mouth because, ladies think I'm sexist, think I'm racist, think I'm self-hating. And trust me, ladies, if someone is not correcting you, they do not care about you. Even the Bible talks about that. Since we're spiritual and we're Christians, or again, since we're spiritual beings over here, right? The Bible in particular, or even individuals who aren't necessarily Christ believers, right? They would agree. If you don't spank your child, you don't love your child. Or if you don't discipline, rather, your child, you don't love your child, because you have to guide them. And if you allow them to be unruly in the home, they'll become unruly adults. Similar concept. Love corrects. Okay? Good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to the Quiet Storm. Again, thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here this morning. So again, we are going to get into the topic. Uh-oh. Close the door, baby. Oh, thought my son came into the door, y'all. I love you too. Okay. All right, y'all, let's get into the topic. So I posted it on my community tab, and I also posted it on my Instagram, depending on where you saw it. All right. I'm going to show you in a second. Hold on. Here, this photo. And we're talking about, ladies, today. Are you wife? And I'm talking about more so in a traditional wife standpoint. I understand that not all homes operate the same, because not every man is the same. But generally speaking, and Mona, if you have time to stop during the call in, I would love to hear your opinion on this. I would love to get the young ladies who want to be wives, and even some wives, talking back and forth a little bit, if you can. But I posted this on my community tab, and I asked, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then what does this one say to you? If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then what does this one say to you? Here we go. What does this one say to you? Let me know in the chat. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, what does this one say to you? Thank you for being here, Mr. He Said. Like, share, and subscribe, please, on your way in. And thank you for being here this morning. So I'm going to briefly tell you what this says to me, because I have an almost 3-month-old and an almost 18-month-old. And I can see in this picture that this wife, because you can see a ring is on her finger, a ring. She has a small child. It looks like a toddler. So yes, I have, again, a 3-month-old and a toddler, an 18-month-old. And so I'm feeling what's going on in this picture, because I understand. So to the gentlemen who are watching, I hope you learned something today. I hope what I say today gives you another perspective on what mothers and wives go through. And also to the ladies who aren't wives, who don't have children, I want you to listen, because these things are real. And again, I'm going through this right now. Femininity and motherhood takes work, discipline, wanting to prioritize downtime, creating a beautiful home for family, making nourishing meals that'll uplift your family, take hard work. It takes hard work and effort that most don't want to put in. Exactly. Ladies, are you cut out for this? Because as a wife and mother, there are a lot of duties within. So we're going to go from the top down to the bottom of the picture, but we're going to start with her. She's behind a door with a glass of wine. She looks tired. Her bra strap is down. And she's clearly in postpartum because, as we can see, she has a small child. And we can also see the extra skin that she's got around her midsection. This indicates postpartum recovery. Again, I got a 3-month-old, so I'm still in postpartum recovery, okay? So not only is mama recovering still physically, but also mentally. Because with pregnancy comes extreme hormonal changes. Women, we're already emotional naturally, so it's like on steroids when you're pregnant, okay? And so in postpartum, your emotional and hormonal imbalances rather, are trying to balance themselves out. On top of, if you're nursing, your body is still going through those hormonal changes in order for your breast to create milk for your child. So during the postpartum stage, a lot of mothers are diagnosed with postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. And some of you may have your specific opinions on anxiety and depression. Okay, that's fine. But I can tell you that that's real. Okay? So not only is mama going through, again, changes and healing physically in her body, but also in her mind. She's fatigued because not only is she up during the day with the baby, she's also up at night with the baby. Mama's operating on a broken sleep schedule. Not only does she have to teach the children, watch the children, but she also has to provide her domestic duties. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to skip some things and come back to things, but as you can see, as you look around the door, there's a pan, she's cooking, there's a broom, she's cleaning, there's looks like a comb and a spray bottle, she's doing hair. And she's also taking care of the baby in the midst of all of this. So she's cooking, but she has to make sure the baby isn't climbing onto furniture. She's cleaning, but she also has to ensure that her toddler is occupied, that she has conversation with her child as well. So she has to continuously go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I hope you're able to call in, Lady Di. If you can, I'm going to drop the link in a little bit. So she's going back and forth between cleaning, cooking, baby, cooking, husband, cleaning, depending on what her schedule is, depending on what she's doing in that moment, right? This is what motherhood entails. This is what being a stay-at-home mother entails. This is what being the manager of your home entails, ladies. Are you cut out for this? Not only is she tending to the baby, but she also she's a wife. Will you turn it down, baby? Thank you. My husband brought my water bottle, y'all. Mrs. She said, excuse me, I'm trying to talk to them. Mr. He said, I'm trying to talk to them. Not only does mama have to tend to the needs, the constant 24-hour need of the child, but she also has to provide her husband time and attention. Let me remove this off the screen really quickly. Not only does she have to give her children, her child, time and attention, she has to give her husband time and attention and affection as well. But this is different than the time and attention and affection that she gives to her child. So wife has to constantly switch back and forth, back and forth. And this is all during a time in which she is, in this case, in the picture that we're talking about in particular, she's again in postpartum. Ladies, are you cut out for this? Are you cut out to deal with the fact that in spite of your hormonal imbalances and the fact that you were just fine 5 minutes ago, but now you have a full-blown attitude? Now, are you willing to be emotional, intelligent, and aware enough to put that attitude aside, to not turn up the heat in the home? Because I speak over here, ladies. I say often, you are essentially the barometer for the home. If you're in a good mood, everyone else is going to be good. If you're snapping on everyone, and if you're, just upset, if your vibe is off, if your demeanor is off, your family is going to feel that. So again, ladies, you are the barometer of the home. So will you and can you be self-aware enough to say, despite these things that are going on internally, I still have a job to do. I still have a duty to perform. I love my child. My child is beautiful, but I'm going through these hormonal changes and imbalances right now. But look at my baby's cute little face. My husband is supportive. My husband is wonderful. He's asking me, where can I help? How can I help? What do you need from me? And even though he's saying all of that and asking all of that, I still have an attitude right now because I'm going through changes. My body is going through changes. Ladies, this is what being a mother and a wife entails. Are you cut out for this? Mrs. She said, please drop her link in the chat. Many women are not capable because women, wives, and mothers have not spread a good word about this life. Many spoke negative. Exactly. Ladies, I'm trying to tell you what it entails. I'm trying to paint a picture for you. But yes, you have to be in it for the long haul. Ladies, it's not easy. That's why I characterize motherhood in particular. It's challenging, but rewarding. I also would characterize marriage in that same capacity. But motherhood, takes, some different things, doing things a little bit different. You can't talk to your husband the same way you would talk to your child. I tell my child, put it back. Come here. Put it down. Get down. I speak to him, because I have sons, firmly. So my child doesn't act up in public, okay? But I don't speak to my husband in that way. But although it's challenging, it's still rewarding because I have children who love me. They smile when they see me. My toddler is talking and he says, I love you. We have conversations. I see him in the morning and he's like, how are you doing? And I say, I'm doing good, baby. How are you doing? Because that's how I speak to him. And when my husband comes home from work, I say, hey, baby. I give him his greeting, his kisses. I love the warmth that comes with motherhood. I love the belonging and the validation that comes with wifehood. But it takes work, ladies. Facts. I'm even still, and again, I'm 3 months postpartum with my second child. I'm still transitioning my children's sleep schedules and things and integrating their schedules. Because when you have a child so young, they're on their own eat, sleep cycle. You can't necessarily put your child on a schedule when they're that young. And then again, I have a 1.5-year-old. So I can generally get him to go to sleep at a particular time. But sometimes his brother doesn't want to go to sleep at that same time, or the youngest one is asleep and the other one is fully awake. So you have to be able to be adaptable, because motherhood comes with a lot of ebbs and flows. Are you cut out for this, ladies? But okay, let's keep on going. Let's get back to the photo we're discussing here. Not only does she have to cook, clean, feed the baby, but she also has a man to take care of. Her husband, because she has a ring in this picture. She has a husband to take care of, to also feed, to serve, to be sweet to, and he's got panties in his hands. So to love on, because ladies, men need it. He needs it. It's your husband. Love on your husband. Don't neglect what he needs. Don't neglect what he needs physically. Sometimes you're going to have to do it when you're tired, when you don't, quote unquote, feel like it. But understand, feeling starts within your mind, ladies. So get yourself ready for it, if you know that's what he's interested in. If he's the type of man who says, what are you trying to do later? Can I get a piece of that tonight? If he's put in his order, start processing his order throughout the day. Smile at him. Give him a touch, a certain look, a hug. That'll help get you in the mood, ladies. These are ways, even in your postpartum state, that you are going to have to get your mind right in order to provide the love and validation that your family, that your man is going to need. You're going to have to push past those feelings sometimes in order for the relationship to continue to move forward. I'm not saying that there aren't going to be difficult times, but that's where you speaking to yourself through it and still loving yourself through it comes in. So again, back to loving on your man. He's going to want it. Yes, we need you to heal up and everything. But this is what it takes, ladies. Are you cut out for this? Typically, men's his libido was higher than yours. So he's going to want it more often. Be prepared for this. Direct him, because you're going to be able to teach him. And if you teach him those things, he'll continue to do those things, and that'll create more interest on your side. I'm trying to speak in code. But I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down here. It's not only love and gushy, gushy, rainbows, sunshine, lollipops. Because remember, some people say there's boredom, instability. So I guess it's boring. But I love it. I love boredom if that's the case, because I love stability. But ladies, this is where choosing to be with a good man, with a leading, teaching, providing, emotionally mature, a man who is also willing to learn how to love you comes in. Not just old dude down the street who you thought was handsome and you made a reckless decision with your womb. I'm talking about consciously choosing a good man, a man who you can see actually be making a good father and a good husband. This is the important thing, ladies. Again, choose the right father, choose the right husband, because in spite of all these emotional imbalances, ups and downs, ebbs and flows of relationship, love, hormones, children, he can support you through those things. And if you're aware of your attitude, if you're aware of the things that are going through your mind day in and day out, you can properly communicate those things. If you can properly identify what's going on, you can properly, hopefully, communicate those things, because you two are a team. If he understands that your mind just needs some rest, that your body just needs some rest, that you need him to do something right now. You need him to cook or clean or whatever right now because you need some rest. Say that. Being a submissive wife does not mean you're silent, does not mean you don't get your needs met, because that is a huge misconception. Yes, be mindful when you're speaking to your husband and make yourself available. And if you need him to just love on you, to hug you, again, tell him those things. Hey, OG Mark, thank you for being a channel member. Exactly. In postpartum, maybe you're not feeling yourself as much because you've got some extra skin. You've got some extra fat around your midsection to lose. But he's still smacking that booty when you walk past because he still finds you attractive. That is a way of him providing you validation. Ladies, be careful to see the efforts that he puts in, the things that he does that say, I love you without saying, I love you. That tell you, I like you, girl. I think you cute. I think you're sexy. I want you. If you look over at him and he's just staring at you and he gives you a smile, that is him admiring you. That is his validation. See the signs, ladies. See the effort. See the things. I understand during postpartum and things when you're tired and all of that, a lot of you're looking within, right? You're saying, I'm not enough. Oh, I'm tired. Me. Oh, right? When you focus on the good things around you, the family that you've created, the good man you have, that is what will help you through this situation. That is what will help you overcome. That is what will help you get out of your mind, especially when you're in depression or anxiety. And again, be able to express these things. Ladies, are you cut out for this? I'm about to drop the link. Let me pin it really quick. I am going to have you flash your camera, but you don't have to be on camera when I pull you up. I think it's misleading to have women think they can pick men. Women can only qualify to be picked. They don't control access to relationship. They control access to sex only. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, I mean pick, because I did say that earlier. I meant pick as in, accept. A man approaches you and it is the woman's, job, or she's essentially going to accept or not accept. So that's what I mean pick. Because yes, she does have to qualify to be picked. I 100% agree. I talk about that all the time. At the same time, maybe I don't want you, I want you. Accepted, denied. So I just mean in that way. Because at the end of the day, you do pick each other. Yes, men grant access to relationship. However, a relationship is still a two-way street. You accept me, I accept you. So that's what I mean in that capacity. Exactly. So go ahead and come on up. The link is pinned. If anyone wants to talk about this. And I have looked at my analytics, and I do have like 75% ladies watching me, so I know y'all are here. Go ahead and call up if you just want to talk about the things that these things entail. And do you think, to the single ladies, you are cut out for such role as being a quote unquote traditional wife and mother? Sometimes you just need your husband to do certain things. And I've got some questions. If I get like a couple of people up here, I've got some questions to ask. What are some truths about the challenges of wifehood and motherhood? What are things that a husband does that helps alleviate said challenges? Why do women complain about the duties associated with these roles? How can we make marriage great again while considering the reality of those roles? Are modern women truly cut out to be quality feminine wives and good mothers? Okay, I see someone in the back, so I'm going to bring you up shortly. So just hang tight. There are men out there who are looking for wives, ladies. But we're a lot of times so stuck on ourselves, that then gives us the inability to sometimes see it from someone else's perspective. And so I have tough conversations over here. I love women. I love Black women. When I'm out, I love complimenting other Black women. Or the women in general. It honestly doesn't even matter what color they are. All right, I've got some ladies in the back. I cannot wait to bring you guys up. Let me go ahead and remove this. But ladies, wife and motherhood entails a lot. So let me go ahead and add these ladies. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Yay. Okay, go ahead and let me see. Do you guys have the ability to unmute yourselves?
Hold on. Good morning.
Good morning, Mona. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for calling up. Yay. Good morning. Again, thank you for being here, Mona.
You're welcome.
So, what say you? Shout out to Dr. Thunder. He says that, and I listen to him in the morning sometimes. What say you? Go ahead and introduce yourself and everything.
So, hello, and I apologize, you all. I've been battling with laryngitis for 3 weeks, very ghetto. So, I am Mona, and I do have a YouTube channel.
Mute
Most
yourself,
of
Fem
y'all know
Gems.
that. And I am a wife. I am a mother. I've been a wife for I just celebrated 13 years of marriage. I have 3 children and an amazing husband. And this is right up my alley. You basically, Bella, you've hit all the nails on the head. Um, when you become a wife, when you become a mother, you really, the number one thing, and I was actually going to cover this once I started back making videos, but I wanted to really talk about, a lot of the key takeaways that I had to learn as someone that did not see a healthy marriage in my home full time. That you really, as a wife, you have to be flexible. You cannot, as a person, you can't think that you have everything, down packed and figured out. And that when you enter into a union with your husband, you should be receptive to, the feedback from your husband because, you know, your husband wants the best for you, just as your husband should listen to the things that you have to say, and that you are, you're not in competition, that you all should be, working together, giving each other grace. Grace is for the both of you to go through things. You are going to make mistakes, probably going to make the same mistakes, and that those lessons that you are learning is going to help to strengthen your skills, the skills of prioritizing, like you said, that time with your husband, prioritizing and managing the household. Also, this notion that you know yeah, you might be a stay-at-home wife and mother, but that still doesn't mean that your husband won't help out here and there. Also, get accustomed to or bring up whenever you need some assistance. But I would also argue that good husbands are going to help. They're not just, going to work and flopping down on the couch and they don't have anything to contribute, even in the physical and domestic space. Um, my husband would always come in and pick up, do something. He would always get the children because I had twins as our first children. And so to be a new mother and a mother of multiples, it was very difficult. And I was a stay at home mother. So when my husband would come home from work, of course, I would greet him. He would get his rest, but then he would get up. He would help out. And so this idea that husbands are to not help out, that's false. I know a lot of women on TikTok like to spew that false narrative. They're talking about they're single in marriage. I call cap. I'm not saying that there are some women that don't experience carrying a lot of the load in the home. But understanding if you are a stay at home wife and mother, you're going to. Okay, you're going to carry a lot of that, and you do need to give yourself some grace too, because you're not going to get everything right. A lot of the things may not get done on a daily basis, but if you begin to, learn what's good for you and your family, put systems in place. Again, give yourself some grace if something doesn't work. Try something else. If you have other women in your life who mean you well and have good intentions, maybe they can offer up some suggestions. And ultimately, you and your husband will be okay. It's not going to be perfect. When you need the time to just decompress when the babies are asleep, sometimes you can't get to that chore. Take a nap if you need to, or do the chore if you want to. Um,
100%. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hop in here, Mona. I'm sorry to cut you off really quick. Again, ladies, she's been married for over 10 years. She's got 3 beautiful children.
yeah.
So she ain't new to this. She true to this, y'all. She's been saying the same things that I have even learned, and I have not been married nearly as long as she has. And go ahead and follow Mona. Check her out. We appreciate your words, Mona. I'm going to go ahead and get FemGems. Can you go ahead and unmute yourself?
Am I muted or can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hello. What say you?
Hi, Bella. It's
Hi.
nice to be with you and finally speak to you.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay, so sorry, I went through. Okay. I really appreciate this conversation. I want to tell a quick story. So right now I'm a caregiver and I have a client, and she was telling me like her struggle with like being a wife and a mother. And I kid you not, she told me about how she used to wake up at 3 in the morning to prepare herself, get herself, beautify herself, put on all the things she needs to put on to look good for her man, and to take care of the house and to take care of the kids. And I was like, it was egregious to me. So I was like, this was like 2 months ago. And I was like, when she said that to me, it was like, am I willing to do all of this? We shout that we want someone to honor us and we want love and we want to be proposed to. But then it's like, are we willing to do everything it takes to love that person and give something up of ourselves? Because in every journey, you're going to have to give something up to go up, right? And I was like,
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see that represented because I was raised by a single father. And I was like, because just because I didn't see that represented in my community, I'm seeking out the resources. I'm seeking out the communities. I'm learning from single mothers. I'm learning from women that are wives and etc. So I'm just like, gosh, this is a lot of work. And I'm 24 years old now, but I've been in this stage where I've been preparing myself, renewing my mind, deprogramming myself, reprogramming myself with content creators like you and Six and Danica and Riva and Chantel. You guys have helped me in Crimson. I know I love her. And you guys have helped me so much because it's like, there's so much to learn because I want to be the best for my husband, the best woman for my man and for my family. And I'm presented with all of this information, right? And I still want to do it. I know the hardships of being a mother and being a father. There's struggles on both ends, right? But it's like, yeah, I'm crazy. I'm legacy driven. I want to expand with a black man. I want to build with a black man. And I know in this space we devalue marriage and the institution, but it's important that I change the narrative for my generation. It's important that I speak out because we have these passport bros that are yearning for women in our this Western nation, but we're here. Some of us are here, and then you guys are cynical and say, oh, she's a hyena or she's a chameleon. But I'm speaking out because I want to be the paradigm shift. You teach me so much, Bella, about like we have a bad image, right? You say it all the time. We have a bad image in the media, and it's like we sexualize ourselves. We talk bad about our men, and it's like, no, that's never been me. Like I was raised by a black man, so all of this stuff, no, that's not me. So I'm trying to counter all of that by raising my voice. So all of this information that's presented to me, and I still want to go for it. I still want to build with a black man. I still want to be the paradigm shift for my collective. I want the next generation to see, oh, mommy and daddy loved each other. I want them to be present. I want my husband to be present and father. I don't want him to be a slave to the money. I want him to be present. I want him to be family oriented as well. So I think about these things. There's so much to talk about it, but I want to say what can help us is we always often say, oh, I'm a mother. Reframe your mind. Oh, no, you get to have healthy eggs. Oh, no, you get to experience motherhood. Oh, no, God blessed you with a healthy body to be able to carry forth life. Embrace your role as a woman. And then also be present and be grateful, like you touched on earlier. Have gratitude and be present because every stage of life is beautiful. Your young years, your mid years, your senior years. So to experience this life and to give all of yourself, I think it's beautiful.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, honey. Fantastic points. Yes. Mona said you have to be adaptable. Go ahead and mute yourself, James. You have to be adaptable. As Mona said, you have to be flexible. Ask for help. Tell him some ways that he can assist. He can't read your mind, honey. As FemJim said, it's your mentality. It comes down to what is in your heart and your mind, ladies. Are you willing to do the self-improving and the introspection within? And then are you willing to communicate? And can you communicate where some missing pieces are in which your husband can fulfill? But again, it is about the man you choose. Your family is predicated on the man who you allow to take you, essentially, whose hand in marriage you decide to take. There was a post that said, oh, I wish I could choose my baby daddy. Girl, you can. Stop it. You guys are trying to choose better men after you've made a horrible choice. Let's stop those things in its tracks. Make a better choice today, and so you won't have any regrets in the future. That's called foresight. That's called planning. That's called maturity, wisdom, ladies. It's time to grow up. Because although it is not easy being a wife and mother, I say again, it is challenging, Alexander. I say it is worth it, successful. I say it is worth it, Christopher. Quiet Storm. So I'm going to go ahead and get to these super chats really quick. And then I have a video that I want everyone to watch. And then I want to see what you ladies have to say about that. And we're going to want to get into the chat as well. So firstly, thank you so much to Dre for your donation. Modern thought encourages women to look at men as utilities that exist to only cater to them. They marry not to be a wife, but to what? Or but to get utility. I'm about to say to what? But to get a utility. Wow. So he's saying modern thought is just marry so you can use a man, but you're not giving anything back. Exactly. I agree. Thank you again, sir. Thank you so much to Successful MD. I appreciate you for your donation. Keep up the good work with your topics of choice. I would be interested to know some stats on the longevity and treatments of postpartum. Okay. I took a screenshot of that. Thank you so much again, sir. Thank you so much to Chavis for your $5 super chats. Shout out to my wife, Lakeisha, as well as those ladies who are loving wives and mothers, along with those who aspire for that lifestyle. Thank you so much. Yes, shout out to all of us. Thank you again for your donations, gentlemen. I greatly appreciate you. All right. So again, I have this video that I wanted everyone to check out. Let me see here. Hold on. Wrong one. Let me see here. Okay. Here we go. So this video actually came out right before, or right after rather, I decided to do this topic today. And this was a very, very fitting video. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
I want to say this to the
Can you hear that? First of all, can everyone hear that? FemGem said she can hear that. Put a one in the chat if everyone else can hear that. If she can hear that, you guys should be able to as well. But again, this is from tonight's conversation. I forgot this woman's name, but I believe she is like a marriage counselor or something like that. What's that, FemGems?
Kitty Rose is her name.
Thank you. Kitty Rose. Yes. K-I-T-T-I Rose. Yes. Thank you. So let's go. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. I see the ones. Okay. Let's see what Kitty has to say.
I want to say this to the men so y'all can better understand what's really going on with us women. We are mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually exhausted in motherhood, okay? The domestic labor falls on us, and we know that society goes by traditional roles, so a lot of the household deeds fall on the women. But for us we constantly have to be attentive to what our children need when they're sick, when they look like they're about to become sick, their education, their emotional well-being, them learning, their coping skills. This is all of everything that we are paying attention to. On top of loving our children, we're trying to find spaces to be able to love ourselves. On top of trying to create safety for our children, we're looking for safety and security within ourselves. And sometimes because of all of the expectations and obligations and burdens and the load on us, we can't find that safety. So we turn to our partner, and sometimes in our partner, because they resent us so much for the transitions that we have faced in our motherhood, we can't find safety with them as well. So
I agree, but I wanted to pause there very quickly, because just as I speak to maybe one specific argument, she may be speaking to one specific type of issue that a couple may run into in marriage, in relationship. So I wanted to stop it there, because it may not always be resentment. You may, as a woman, you may see it as your man is resenting you, but maybe he just doesn't understand what you're going through, which is why I talked about clear communication. But you cannot clearly communicate if you do not what is wrong, if you do not know what is wrong with you. In order for you to know what is wrong with you, you have to pick up your emotional intelligence. Again, ladies, I have a past live stream in which I talked about that. You have to be aware of your emotions, truly what is going on in your mind. But further than what's going on, like what are you saying to yourself? Let's get to the root of what is wrong. Why are you upset? I'm upset because he didn't do the dishes. Well, why are you upset that your husband didn't do the dishes? Because I had to dedicate extra time aside to do the dishes, which took away from taking a nap. You see what I'm saying? And why you have an attitude about that? Because I'm tired. So the root is you're tired. And so now you have an attitude because of the domino effect that everything has caused. But now that we've identified that you're tired, you can now come to your man once you get your attitude together and say, hey, baby, I'm really tired. So I really just need to lay down for an hour. Will you please do the dishes or something like that? It's all about your approach. It's all about the way you communicate, ladies, right? And so when she said, because your partner may resent you, and the ladies cheered, it's not always about resentment. He may not be quote unquote falling short because he resents you. He may be falling short, but because again, he just doesn't know what you need. Tell him what you need. I'm going to go ahead and let the rest of this video play through, and then I'm going to get your ladies' thoughts.
So you have to be able to extend some type of grace. That's what we mean when we say we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be understood, we want to be validated. We need you all because we understand that mentally, psychologically, men and women are not the same. We understand that, but as a partner, we need you to try to step into our shoes, see it through our eyes, hear it through our ears, feel it through our heart, so you can better understand where we are coming from.
And the only way for him to feel it and to see it and to do all of that is if you can truly communicate what you need. Go ahead. Mona, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, so I personally agree with Kitty with respect to that. So let me just say this. One, again, the worst thing that we can do as wives is be passive. And I think that being passive, that is what can, quote unquote, cause us to feel resentment, bitter, whatever, because we want our man to be mind readers. But I also would give her pushback because oftentimes in relationships, we as women believe we can do it the best, right? We can do it better. And just because your husband does something different and you do not like it and it's not to your standard, he's not doing it right. And we have this innate need to just want to jump in and to just do it because we can do it better. And I think that, we have to learn in marriages that it doesn't have to look like us. It doesn't have to be the way that we do it, but allow your husband, once you communicate respectfully, that, hey, can you please help me with this particular task? 90% of the time, your husband is not going to object, but you're going to have to be open and flexible to the fact that he's not going to do it when you want him to do it necessarily. And he may not do it to the degree that you want it to be, but be appreciative to the extent that he can contribute. And then also, the part that I disagree with her on is this concept that women, we are doing the majority of things for the children as far as the reading and the bathing and the education. And I would argue that down, that that's not true. My husband is the one that leads our home when it comes to the children's education more so than I do. My husband is the one that takes our children to the doctor's appointments. Even when they were younger, I didn't always do that. My husband is the one that is putting children in the bath, so on and so forth. So this notion that a man is not, or women are just solely carrying that load in marriage is capped. But if you are a single mother, and I would argue that the majority of her audience are single mothers, then this will resonate with them. So we will go back to women being picky and selective about, and intentional, I'll just say that, about the type of man that you want and that would work best and that you guys can come together. I would also argue that, um, again, stop thinking that you're doing it all by yourself and that you can do it the best. That's capped because you can't. You guys bring different skill sets to the relationship. He might be really good at finances, or you could be really good at finances, so on and so forth. So embrace the fact that you and your husband are going to be different. You both have strengths and limitations, and have those conversations, and not to nag your husband too. But when you really believe and you feel that, okay, and you're thinking I'm overwhelmed, pull your husband to the side, have that conversation with him. But we don't do everything the best, and we should be giving each other grace. And that's all I got. So I'm going to drop down because I got to go.
Okay, thank you so much for coming up, Mona. I greatly appreciate it, and you were dropping straight fire. So thank you so much. Go ahead and give Mona a follow. She keeps it real, and she's entertaining. Thank you so much again, Mona, for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you for Bella for having me. Have a good day, everybody.
Feel better. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, yes, straight facts. What Mona was saying, 100%. I could not have said it better. Straight facts, and I love what she said about giving. And then I'm gonna get to you, Fem Gems. Pushing back at Kitty about things falling on the woman. The thing is, yes, but everything doesn't have to. Women, we always try to put all the load. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta do that. And I'm doing this, that, all by myself. And then we struggle to walk with this huge, heavy bag of responsibility when we have a whole man who can help. When we have a whole man who can take most of the load, but we're not asking for help. That's why Mona said, stop being so passive. A feminine wife does not equate to a passive wife. Ladies, ask for help. Go ahead, Fem Gems.
Okay, so I understand where she's coming from, and I'm not taking away from her lived experience or women's lived experience, mothers, wives. The thing is, we both have our struggles, motherhood, fatherhood, right? Just as exhausting it can be for a woman, it's exhausting for men as well, right? Because he's not only considering you, he has to consider that child. He has to consider supporting you and that family. And for example, for instance, what if he loses his job? We have to consider those things. Like, how will the dynamic change in our relationship? She touched on in our core as women, we need to feel safe, secure, and heard, right? And for men, their primal thing is respect, right? You have to respect and honor him, right? So just because we go through these things, it shouldn't abdicate you of your femininity and your womanhood, right? Be self-aware. I always say that, be self-aware of yourself. Be aware of your habits. If you're lacking emotional intelligence, your triggers, explore those triggers. Put that feelings aside and explore that. Go within yourself. Too often we're in such a masculine-driven society. I understand that. We have to learn how to tune out of the outer critic and tune into the inner critic, right? Seek within yourself. What do you need? What do you need from yourself? What do you need to give yourself, right? And our husband has to maybe, if he doesn't know or he doesn't understand, teach him, ask, maybe he doesn't know what you need. Just tell him, like you said, communicate. I think like Mona had expressed, communicate. So communicate your needs, communicate, maybe you're falling short. Think about people in a holistic frame, maybe spiritually, physically, mentally, there's a struggle there, there's a dis-ease there, right? So I agree with her completely, but I also think that there's struggles for men as well that we can't disregard. But just because we're going through a tough time and in our motherhood, does that mean we should just let everything else go to the wayside? So many of us are trying to reclaim our femininity and live this soft life. But it's like you can change everything externally, but if you don't change anything internally, nothing will change.
I
So
completely agree. Yeah.
those things inside of you, your demeanor, your essence as a woman, learn those skills, be aware of those tendencies and those things that are poor habits. Ask yourself, what are you willing to give up to go up?
Absolutely, FemGem. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the super chat. Thank you so much, Mark, for your $2 donation to the platform. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for being a channel member again. Most are modern, but want traditional. So ladies, if you want traditional, you have to be traditional in some aspects, not necessarily all aspects, because some men who would technically characterize themselves as traditional, there is still a modern twist to it. So it's not necessarily, the modern wife that you're going to be, you can train yourself, get trained up, but it's really going to be molded based on what the man wants, based on what your husband wants, which is why courting and dating and conversation is all in a process for you to be vetted. Because that way, not only is he's trying to see if you're wife material, he's trying to see if you're his wife. Okay, he's deemed you as wife material, but are you his wife? And then you're also deciding, okay, his leading and teaching style, is that something I can submit to? Is that something I can be around and deal with for the rest of my life? You have to make these decisions. You have to be honest about it. Ladies, this is what being a mother and wife entails. And yes, Christopher, tough times are experienced by both. It's not only about us. It isn't a struggle competition between your man and you. You two are a team. So be a team. It's you and him against the problem. Not you against him and the problem. And FemGems, I know, FemGems, I know you're looking to, be a wife. So my question to you is, have you always, wanted to be a wife? Or is that something that recently, came up in your most recent years?
So thank you for asking this question. Yes, actually, because although my father raised me and my mom was in the streets, so yes, I have always wanted to be a wife. My big sister raised me from the age of 8 years old to 18 years old, and me and my twin sister actually, and she became a wife, and I saw that dynamic in her life with her fiance and now husband. And I've always admired that. I mean, as a young girl, I always romanticized black love. Like I always watched the shows, the movies, and I always wanted to be a wife. And I've always been legacy driven. Like I'm big on the black community and consciousness and expanding the black community. And I know so much we talk about like get rid of the black community and all that stuff. But yes, it's been so big to me. Like Erica Lachey talks about all the time, like black love is revolutionary. It is. It's so powerful. I mean, our ancestors didn't have these things, and I think it's so important. It's so important to be exemplary of the things that we say we want, not only to say that we want these things, but to work for it. And I say this all the time, I'm willing to work for my man and compete in a feminine way and earn him every day. So I'm conditioning myself. Like you talk about conditioning yourself. Wake up early, work out, take care of yourself, put time into your beauty, wear your natural hair. I've always been big in my natural hair, but just like learning these things in my early years in my 20s, because as we all know, life is going to get harder. So you have to have those habits now, because you want to learn the things early in your 20s, so that, or even older or younger, so that you can inculcate it over and translate it to your children and stuff like that. So yes, it's so important to me to be in these spaces, because as God works on you and renews your mind and stuff like that, you're going to move away from certain things. You're going to purge a lot of things. You're going to stop listening to certain musics. You're going to carry yourself in a better way. You're going to conduct yourself better. You're going to talk different. You're going to, so much is going to be transformed within you, right? Interesting enough, someone on Crimson Cure live stream was like, "Oh, I thought you were a hyena." We went to college together, and I did move differently. You know, I was like a terrible person at one point in my life. You know, I was very narcissistic. I was selfish and things like that. But you know, I've done a lot of work over the past 3 years. It was Kevin Samuels. Like, he changed me so much, you know, and I just feel like I'm so happy to be in this journey now. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I do want to be a wife. I do want to honor and submit to a Black man. There's nothing wrong with submitting to a good quality Black brother. And I just want to change this harmful statistics that are harming our community. I want more Black women to be married, or be at least marriage minded, and want to honor them and have healthy, thriving marriages.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. And what I was saying to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I will say, and this is something I had to work on toward more so the beginning of the relationship with my husband. So this is not only to you, Miss Fem Gems, Miss Lovely Vivescent, you know, or effervescent rather, personality, Fem Gems. This is something I had to learn. Answer the question.
Okay.
First.
Okay.
Sometimes, so my husband would say, what do you want to drink? And I would say, well, I was thinking about some water earlier, and then, but then I had got a taste for some lemon after that, but then I wanted some Kool-Aid, and then I go down this whole explanation, and then I answer the question at the end. So this is something I'm still working on. I want you to work on it, as well as the ladies who are watching on the replay or watching now. Answer the question directly first, and then typically you can go into the details after that if he
thank you.
Request it, but no problem. What's that?
Like when you talked about stop saying I feel, say I think, I've been working on that on my platform.
That as well, yes.
Feel, say I think, right? Be assertive in what you're trying to say. But I appreciate that. I'll take that, Jim, as I go along.
You are very welcome, honey. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the picture we've been talking about. We started off the live stream with discussing this, but sometimes you just need a minute. Give me 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Sometimes we just need a minute, gentlemen. Sometimes we just need a minute. Mama needs a minute to decompress. Mama needs a minute just to listen to her thoughts and not to be having her mind focused on, oh, I got to check the monitor because I have to see if the baby's awake. I have to see if the baby's crying. Or, oh, I got to, clean real quick. Or I have to do this. I have to do that. Sometimes we just need a minute. And so, gentlemen, future husbands, give her that. Ensure to give her, that space in which she feels like she has the room to take the rest that she needs. And ladies, as Mona said earlier, don't be so passive. Tell him what you need. As you're taking care of him, give him the words and the knowledge that he needs in order for him to take care of you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at this video one more time, Fem Gems. And then we're going to wrap it up. Let me make sure I didn't miss. Okay, no, I didn't miss any super chats or anything. Okay, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go to this video one last time. We're going to wrap up our thoughts, and then we are going to close it out. And I have been so very much enjoying this conversation. So let's keep going here.
It is to the men so y'all can better understand what's really going on with us women. We are mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually exhausted in motherhood, okay? The domestic labor falls on us, and we know that society goes by traditional roles, so a lot of the household deeds fall on the women. But
so yeah, that's what I wanted to stop here and say again, ladies. Yes, in general, a lot of people are traditional when it comes to relationship, but again, it's based on your particular man. As I think Bobby has said it earlier in the comments, it's like buying a vacuum to cut your grass. You may be a wife. Here we go. Yeah, you may be a good wife, but a bad wife for him. It's like buying a vacuum to mow your lawn. The vacuum is just fine, but it's not good for what you need it for. Which is why I talk about, and I'm going to talk about in the future, getting on a man's program. You may be a wife, but are you his wife? That's why he's vetting you, so he can know if you fit into his masculinity, because everyone is different. And so, slight pushback, I guess, for that statement in particular. Yes, it's true, but there's a nuance to that. Anything quickly you have to say, Fem Gems, before we continue the video? Okay.
for us we constantly have to be attentive to what our children need when they're sick, when they look like they're about to become sick, their education, their emotional well-being, them learning, their coping skills. This is all of everything that we are paying attention to. On top of loving our children, we're trying to find spaces to be able to love ourselves. On top of trying to create safety for our children, we're looking for safety and security within ourselves. And sometimes because of all of the expectations and obligations and burdens and the load on us, we can't find that safety. So we turn to our partner, and sometimes in our partner, because they resent us so much for the transitions that we have faced in our motherhood, we can't find safety with them as well. So you have to be able to extend some type of grace. That's what we mean when we say we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be understood, we want to be validated. We need you all because we understand that mentally, psychologically, men and women are not the same. We understand that, but as a partner, we need you to try to step into our shoes, see it through our eyes, hear it through our ears, feel it through our heart, so you can better understand where we are coming from.
Okay. Exactly, successful. That sounds like single motherhood. Exactly. That's why I said, ladies, it's important about the man you choose, because I saw a video that said, and FemGems, let me know if you heard this happening, but I think it was a lady on this show. She has said like something about like she knows married women who are single or who are single in their marriage or something like that. Yeah, like that's what it kind of sounded like Kitty was talking about. But everything does not have to fall on you. So being a wife and a mother, yes, there are a lot of hats and roles that you have to play, but it doesn't only fall on you. This is just her perspective, but he also has his version of that as well. So he's, say, in his garage working on his car to decompress, but he's also thinking about work. He's also thinking about his woman. He's thinking about the baby. He's thinking about the bills. He's thinking about whatever additional responsibilities that he has as well. So it isn't necessarily only about you, only about your feelings. It doesn't invalidate your feelings, but his also matters. His feelings also matter. His perspective also matters. Anything you have to say quickly from Gems? Okay. FemGems, would you say that you're ready to get on a man's program?
Absolutely, I would be willing to I am ready to get on a man's program. I'm willing to submit to a man. I'm willing to, as long as he has a mission and vision for his life.
Fantastic. That's beautiful. I appreciate you for coming up to chat with me on this discussion. And ladies, we're talking about, are you wife and mother material? We talked about the things that wife and mothers go through. Okay. So FemGems joined us. Mona joined us. FemGems, I appreciate you, honey. You look wonderful. Thank you for showing us your fro and everything. And thank you for bringing your bubbly, beautiful personality up here this morning to talk about this topic. Until next time,
Thank you so much for this. Thank you for the constructive
Yes.
criticism. I'm going to improve that. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do for us. I love you. I just think it's so refreshing to see like a young sister that loves motherhood, and you bask in your femininity, and I just love that so much. And that's what attracted me to your content so much. And I'm so glad. Keep pushing your brand, and I'm gonna keep supporting you, and I'm gonna keep helping promote your content. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, honey. Okay. Mona said, I disagree. My husband does not need to step into my shoes to be empathetic and share or contribute to the home. Thank you for saying that, Mona, because that is a point I did mean to bring up. I 100% agree. Just because I'm not homeless, just because I have a home doesn't mean I can't empathize with someone who is homeless. You don't necessarily have to be in the situation in order to understand and or assist. Ladies, that isn't always necessary in order for him to understand. So as long as you're, again, do that inner work, find the words to your emotions so you can communicate them clearly, and then go from there with communicating them with your man so you two can go ahead and create a plan in order to get over this communication hump, or just to help you get some more rest or whatever you need, help to get you what you need. I'm going to check out this last super chat really quick. Thank you so much, Aaron, for your $2 super chat. Hold on, let me give you what I owe you real quick. Emotional damage, single mother babble. Hey, yeah, we have to stop thinking about things from a single mother point of view, because that's the problem, because it's so glorified in our conversations, and let's more so talk about, hey, these are not there are similar struggles in being married, but you aren't doing this alone. Are you cut out for this, ladies? Are you wife material? Are you mother material? But I've got to go. I have got to go. I appreciate all of you for being here with me. The truth has been signed, sealed, and delivered by yours truly. If you like the content you see, then please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads or when I go live. And please put yourself on wife support and support the channel. Check out my channel memberships by clicking the join button. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Oh, I can feel that from where I am. The door.